This is a Get Hired RDH 10-minute training session with your dental hygiene job hunting personal trainer, Doug Perry. And now, here's Coach Perry.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your schedule to join me on this 10-minute training session. I know you have lots of things that you can do, and I'm honored that you would take a little bit of time to learn from me some things that I've found that have helped in building a resume specifically today, but also in job hunting in general. So I really appreciate that. So let's just dive in right now. Today I wanted to talk about the perfect dental hygiene resume. Now, obviously, everybody has in their mind what perfect is, and I don't think that my way is the only perfect way to do a resume. I think there are lots of perfect ways to do a resume, but this is based on some of the experience that I've had that has worked really well with the hygienists that I've consulted with. So I want to share those with you today, and I'm just going to go through them really quick in an outline here. So let's just start with the top. Right at the top, you want to start with your header, which is your name and your contact information. Those are by far the most important pieces of information that you can put on a resume. And so I highly recommend that you put your name, at the top of your resume in a nice big font, maybe like something in the neighborhood of 24 to say 30 point, just something that's going to really stand out, and maybe even add a little bit of color to it. That's a good way to go as well. And then beneath that, or to the side of that, you want to put your title, which oftentimes people will just abbreviate that RDH, but I've been putting it underneath their name in a smaller font, much smaller font, just registered dental hygienist. That works really well. And then right close by to that, to the right or underneath, put your contact information. A lot of people think, well, I got to put my mailing address. You don't have to do that. I say put your email address and your phone number, and that's really all you need to put in terms of contact information. The rest of it, your mailing address, your home phone, various other things, other ways to get a hold of you are not necessary. Next, and just beneath the contact information, is a little section called the objective. And I've been having clients change that to About Me. I really think that objective is antiquated. I mean, everybody's objective is to get a job, right? Everybody in any field, doesn't matter if it's dental hygiene or anything else, everybody wants to get a job as a dental hygiene, or as a whatever the field is that they're interested in this case, dental hygiene. So I really think that's a worn out, tired statement. It's better, much better, to kind of let them give a little bit of insight, just a brief statement of who you are. And I oftentimes refer to that as your personal brand statement. It basically says in one sentence, maybe two at the very most, who you are as a person, what they're going to get if they hire you. And that says so much more than an objective statement. So I tell clients to come up with I work with clients to come up with a really brief, succinct statement that focuses on who they are as a person, as a professional, and what the employer can expect when they hire them. That's the About Me section. Okay, so then the next section is going to be based on what style of resume that you go with. Now, I tell people there's two types. First of all, let me explain two types. There's the chronological resume, and then there's the functional resume. Now, the key distinction between the chronological and the functional is that in the chronological resume, you're going to have your job listings, places that you've worked, kind of at the top, and then you're going to list underneath those job listings things that you've done for those jobs. Hopefully, there are things like accomplishments or achievements, but a lot of people just put simply what they did at that job, some basic skills and whatnot. But I think a better way to do this is the functional style of resume. A functional resume takes all those bullet points that are underneath each of those jobs, and you put them into one full section. And you call it something like competencies or experiences or Some may put skills on there, or maybe some combination of those. Put those all into one section at the top. That's your next most important information, in my opinion, on your resume, because it shows what you can bring to the table. It shows a dentist or an office what you're able to do that maybe not every dental hygienist is able to do, or maybe you're a little bit better at it than some other dental hygienists. So you want to focus that section right near the top. Then you go into, on a functional resume, you go into your jobs that you've held. So each job that you've had, the name of the position, the place that you worked, the doctor's name perhaps instead of the practice name, where it was located, that you were a dental hygienist there, so that they know that you weren't some other position there. And then the years, what years you worked from there. And then a lot of people will put months too, but I don't think you need to put that in there. I think just the years is sufficient, and it will take up a little bit less space. Then the next section you want to get into is your education. And just like your work history, which I didn't mention this, you want to put that in reverse chronological order, so your most current position first. Your education section needs to be the same way. You want to put your most recent education first, and that goes at the top. So if you've had anything since then, so some of you have gone back and got your anesthesia license after you got your dental hygiene degree, and that's totally cool. Put the anesthesia license information where you went and got that above your dental hygiene information, and then put the name of the institution, what it was that you did there, if it was a degree or if it was some kind of specialized training such as anesthesia or certification. And then you want to finish with the year that you graduated. Some people put a range, but I think what you just need there is just the year that you graduated. That's all that matters. Then the next section down, if you still have space, and hopefully you don't, because hopefully you've put everything into the resume so far that you really, really need. Hopefully you don't need anything else, but if you still need some space that you can fill in, you can put a section in there called service or related participation and recognition. That's just a place where you can put volunteer things that you've done that is relevant to dental hygiene, or perhaps maybe some sort of participation in a component or association that you've done. That's all relevant to your practice of dental hygiene. A couple of things not to include. Some people put a line in there that says references available upon request. You don't need that. It's obvious. You're going to provide references if they request them. It's kind of a given. Licensing and certification numbers and that sort of thing. I think if people want that, again, they can ask for it, they can get it. You don't need to list it on there unless you're really, really desperate to take up space. The last thing I wouldn't put on there at all, even if you need the space, is things like hobbies or information about your family, where you grew up. All of that is completely irrelevant to a practice, to a dentist, and they just don't really care to have that on there. So it's just a waste of space and doesn't do anything for you. So anyway, long story short, just keep the resume brief, keep it succinct. Keep your sentences really short and tight, and make it look good. Make it stand out. Focus on, again, that section at the top that focuses on accomplishments and achievements, and you really will have the perfect dental hygiene resume. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I hope to catch you next week. See you later.
Thanks for listening to the Get Hired RDH 10-minute training session. For more information, visit gethiredrdh.com, or you can reach Coach Perry at 801-683-9664 or Doug at gethiredrdh.com.